Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Our guests today, including Ross Tucker, sponsored by Basant Motors. Ross is standing by. Basant Motors turning the big 3-0. They're ready to celebrate with some amazing deals. Find out more at basantmotors.com. He is our Monday regular from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast and Westwood One. Ross Tucker, how are you, sir?
Donnie, I'm fantastic, and I remember how old I felt when I turned 30, like Basant Motors. I was like 30. Oh, my. Now I'm 42, and 30 sounds crazy young. I'd pay a lot of money to be 30 again.
Ross, we don't have enough time to talk about how I feel about 30 years old, all right? So you're a pup. Come on. Lots of time left. Hey, Arizona, 6-0. They beat Cleveland 37-14. A lot of people talk about Kyler Murray, 4 touchdown passes. But what can you tell us about the Cardinals as a whole? What about their defense?
Yeah, they're a complete team. They're a complete team right now. You know, look at them offensively, right? They've got the weapons with DeAndre Hopkins at receiver, Rondale Moore. They just traded for Zach Ertz from the Eagles, who will only add to what is a very prolific offense. I like both their running backs, Chase Edmonds, James Conner. They run the ball well. They throw it well. Then defensively, J.J. Watt, when he comes back, Chandler Jones up front. Certainly at the linebacker level, they got back-to-back first-round picks, Zaven Collins as well as Isaiah Simmons. I guess if you had a weakness, it's the secondary, but the kids from UW up in the Pacific Northwest, you know, we got guys like Budda Baker and Taylor Rapp playing really well as well. Or I'm sorry, Byron Murphy playing really well. Gosh, there's too many UW guys. By the way, we call it the Pacific Northwest, but it's south of you guys. So what do you guys call it?
Well, that's a good debate around here. A lot of people, like older people, have always called it, like you, Rick, have called it the Pacific Northwest. But when you look at a Canadian map, it's not the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. It's the Southwest. Yeah. So it's a big controversy here, Ross.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Is Vancouver considered the Pacific Northwest?
I think as a whole, when you look at North America, yeah, most people consider it the Pacific Northwest.
Okay, so like Oregon, Washington State, British Columbia, the whole thing's the Pacific Northwest. I got it.
There you go.
In my mind, you know, we always cut everything off at America, right? Because we don't want to talk about what happens.
You said it. I didn't.
So, but I was always wondering, like, we call it the Northwest because it's the northwest part of our country. Yeah. But it's south of you guys. What do you guys call it? Southie? You're going to take a drive down to Southie today?
Yeah, I'm going to stay out of this. I'm going to stay out of this because if I say something wrong, you're going to hammer me. So I'm just going to bypass this conversation.
It's geography, so trust me, he's staying
out of it. I barely got past grade 12. You know that, so I'm going to stay out of this.
Nobody calls it Southie. Let's go with Pacific Northwest. That's what I grew up with anyway. Yeah, but no, people do bring up that question. Did you expect more from the Chargers against the Ravens?
Yeah, but that happens sometimes in the NFL.
Okay. Yeah.
In all sincerity, I never get that worked up about one loss, even when it's a blowout. I think people at times forget that whether you lose by 1 point or 40 points, it only counts as one L in the win-loss column. They did not come to play. They couldn't stop the run. Herbert was off weirdly. The receivers, they weren't on the same page. It was a terrible game. I mean, it was a terrible game. I was surprised by it for sure, but I'm not putting too much stock in it. I'm not getting worried about it.
Hey, Ross, very, very fun game at the end to watch, the Seahawks and the Steelers. Not so much with the ending in Seattle, but Geno Smith fumbles. He stood up in the postgame and said, "This is on me." You know, this 2 weeks in a row he had a chance to close out. That's a tough loss for the Seahawks. That's 2 in overtime. They're 2-4, last in the NFC West. What were your thoughts on that ending in Pittsburgh?
Well, first of all, I'm getting really tired of everybody in our society, no matter what happened, saying, it's my fault, I take responsibility, I'm accountable. I mean, where's the fun in that, right? I want guys to be like, hey, listen, I was awesome. It was the right guard was terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
My receiver had 3 drops.
Yeah.
I gotta put this squarely on my supporting cast. Cause I'm here in Philly, and it's like every game the head coach is like, it's my fault, I need to do better. The quarterback's like, it's my fault, I need to do better. It's so boring. Let's start blaming other people. That's what this whole society is supposed to be about. No, but for Geno, listen, the game before against the Rams, it wasn't his fault, that last interception. Lockett got tripped, and that's what happened. The strip sack last night was Geno's fault. I thought he was okay. To be honest with you, I thought Geno would be worse. On the Even Money Betting podcast, I laid the 5 points with the Steelers. I thought the way the first half went, I thought that would be the whole game. I thought the Steelers would win the game like 23-10. So credit to the Seahawks O-line. They started to run the ball down the Steelers' throat. That was actually really impressive. Put him in that position to potentially win the game. And then TJ Watt. Dude's making $30 million a year, and he's worth every penny, man. I mean, he won that game. Like, there's only – the reality is, I don't know what it's like in hockey, Rick, but in the NFL, there's really only like 4 or 5 guys usually that are the difference between winning and losing the game, right? Like your quarterback, your star other skill guy, your best defense. Like those are the guys that make the difference between the win or the loss. That's why you pay those guys. TJ Watt, which starts with a W. Follow me along here, Rick. That's what he proved last night.
Yeah.
Watt, W, win.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Hey, Aaron Rodgers to the Bears fans, I own you. Did you have any issue with him saying that?
I love that. I love fan interaction.
Yeah.
I think it makes more entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, he said some lady in the front row was giving him the double bird. I used to talk to the fans all the time when I played. So, no joke, I played one time at Oakland against the Raiders, okay?
Yeah.
We run out for pregame warm-ups. It's like 45 minutes before the game. And I'm thinking it's my 3rd year in the NFL. It's 2003, or what do you say, Rick? 2-3?
203.
203. Yeah, it was 203, Rick. And I'm in Oakland. And I thought, you know what? I might never play at Oakland again. I've been looking at the black hole my whole life. Like, you know, the guys with the shoulder pads with the spikes and stuff.
Right.
Like, I want to see what they're all about. So right when we came out, I run right up to the black hole. And I'm like 5 feet away from them. I'm like, is that it? Is that all you guys got? I thought you guys were supposed to be the black hole. And they're all trying to grab me like, we'll kill you. And I'm like just far enough that like they just can't quite get at me. It was amazing. I love that. I got a great black hole story. Now I'm telling Donnie and Diwali in Vancouver. What if I hadn't done that? I would have nothing.
Hey, get the name right.
Yeah, get the name right.
It's Dolly. You had the Southie thing, and now Dolly.
Yeah, it's Dolly.
Oh,
Dolly.
yeah. Donnie
Diwali's
no. I'll tell you what confuses me there.
Yeah.
It's Dolly Wall, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the confusion lies.
Yeah.
It's Dolly Wall, but you go by Dolly, but I still have that W. Although knowing the way you are and how many L's you take on the show, getting rid of the wall part is probably a good idea.
I'm usually the confused guy, not you.
Hey, Ross, are you a fan of the games in London? Jacksonville wins finally over there.
Huge fan for a million different reasons. So number one, I've called a couple of those games, Donnie. They love American football. And I think it's really important. Look, there's continents full of little boys and girls that think soccer is fun. Think about that. Can't someone please think of the children? I mean, there are continents where they think soccer is the best sport. Anything we can do, Donnie, to show them American football and to show them what the real deal is, because anybody that's ever played both, like me, I played soccer till I was 12. Then I started to get started to mature a little bit. I guess I'll just say that. And I switched to football because that's what you do. So we need to spread the football gospel to other countries And the people over there are passionate about it. It's so cool to go in the stadium. Every single person has a jersey. It's like a kaleidoscope of colors. It's amazing. And I like waking up at 9:30 in the morning and having a game on my TV. I love everything about it. Why, you don't, Donnie?
Oh no, we've had guests in the past who aren't big fans.
Exactly.
Like who?
Alex Marvez, for instance. Right, Ryan?
Not a big fan. Alex, for what reason?
I can't remember. I can't remember back that far. You can't
Yeah,
remember how to
exactly.
pronounce
You can't
Dollywell's name.
remember.
Yeah.
You can't remember because he didn't have any good arguments. He had no good reasons or examples as to why he didn't like it.
I don't want to throw Alex under the
You'll
bus.
remember my reasons forever now.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
definitely. Definitely. Hey, you know what? That was not a great segment, and I'm blaming you, okay? You were not
Why was it not a great segment?
in reference to your suggestion earlier that you'd like to see coaches and players blame each other for losses.
Yeah.
This is what I'm referring to. You're off your game today.
I
think
like
you're off
this.
your game.
I like this because you're ripping him and not me. This is good.
Hey, Donnie, you ever see The Big Lebowski?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I can't say what the guy says in the movie a million times because I don't know if we're allowed to say that on your show.
Yeah.
But I want you to think about what John Goodman would say to Donnie all the time because that's what I'm thinking right now, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Donnie is in that show as well. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about what I said, and we'll talk next week. All right?
Shut the bleep up, Donnie.
I love it. I love it. Finally, I get a week off. Thank you.
Steve Buscemi. Great movie. Ross, thanks for this.
See you, dudes.
Adios.
Ross Tucker Football Podcast, and Westwood One. I keep wanting to ask him this question, but Buffalo plays the Monday night game at
That's
Tennessee.
right.
They're 4-1, and remember the opening week of the season, Buffalo loses to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Pretty healthy upset, and I got to ask Ross this next week when he's not ripping into us. Was that the best thing that could happen to the Bills? Everybody just thought they were going to, go 17-0 and make their way to the Super Bowl. That Pittsburgh loss might have helped them, might have woken them up.
Who's worse right now?
You or me?
Just listen to me. The Detroit Lions or the BC Lions?
Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Lions have won a game. The Lions on this side of the border. All right. Our thanks to Ross Tucker.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. Donnie Dully, the team on check.